If you're 60 years old and you feel like you have not saved enough for retirement, this video is not here to shame you. But there are 5 decisions you must make now because the next 5 years can either protect your retirement or completely destroy it. Maybe life got expensive. Maybe you raised children. Maybe you paid bills for everyone else but forgot to pay your future self. Maybe you helped family. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe health problems came at the wrong time. Or maybe you simply never had enough income to save properly. But whatever the reason is, one thing is clear: you cannot afford to ignore this anymore. If you are around 60 and you have little or no retirement savings, then every decision from this point forward matters. The good news is, your situation may be serious, but it is not hopeless. You may not be able to go back and change the last 30 years, but you can make the next 5 years much smarter. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 things you should do immediately if you are 60 with little or no retirement savings. And make sure you stay until the end, because the last point is the mistake that destroys many people financially when they are already behind. Before we begin, this video is for educational purposes only. I am not your financial advisor. Always speak with a qualified professional before making major financial decisions. Now let's begin.
The first thing you need to do is stop guessing. Many people say, "I don't have enough money to retire." But when you ask them, how much money do you actually need every month, they do not have a clear answer. They are scared, they are stressed, they know retirement is coming, but they do not know the real number. And when you do not know your number, everything feels impossible. So before you make any major decision, you need to calculate your real monthly survival number. Not your dream lifestyle number, not your luxury lifestyle number, your survival number. This is the minimum amount of money you need every month to live with basic comfort and dignity. Start with housing. How much do you pay for rent or mortgage? How much do you pay for property taxes, home maintenance, repairs, insurance? Then write down food. How much do you realistically spend on groceries and basic meals every month? Then write down utilities, electricity, gas, water, phone, internet, heating, cooling, and any other basic bills. Then write down transportation, car payments, fuel, insurance, repairs, public transports, or any other travel costs. Then write down healthcare, medicine, doctor visits, insurance premiums, dental care, eye care, and any medical costs that may come again and again. Then write down debt, credit cards, personal loans, car loans, family loans, or any other monthly payments you still have. Then write down family support. Are you helping adult children? Are you helping grandchildren? Are you helping parents, relatives, or anyone else financially? And finally, write down emergency money. Because after 60, emergencies do not stop. In fact, emergencies can become more expensive. A car repair, a medical bill, a home repair, a family emergency. These things can happen at any time. Once you add everything together, you will have your real monthly survival number. Maybe your number is $2,500 a month. Maybe it's $3,500. Maybe it's $5,000. The number will be different for everyone. But here's the important point. You cannot fix a retirement problem until you know the size of the problem. If you avoid the number, the problem does not disappear. It only becomes more dangerous. So your first move is simple. Write down your real monthly expenses. Then compare that number with your guaranteed monthly income. That means Social Security, pension, rental income, part-time work, or any other reliable income source. If your guaranteed income is lower than your survival number, then you have a gap. And that gap is what you must fix. Not through panic, not through gambling, not through risky investments, but through clear decisions. And that brings us to number 2.
This is one of the most important points in this entire video. Many people think retirement automatically happens at a certain age. They say, I'm 60 now, or I'm 62 now, or I'm 65 now. So they think, it is time for me to retire. But age alone does not mean you are ready to retire. Retirement is not just an age. Retirement is a financial condition. You are ready to retire when your income, your savings, and your expenses can support your life without a regular paycheck. If you have little or no retirement savings at 60, retiring too early can be a very dangerous mistake. Because once you stop working, your options can become smaller. Your income may drop. Your savings may disappear faster. Your debt may become harder to manage. And going back to work later may not be easy. That is why if you are healthy enough and able to continue working, even for a few more years, it can completely change your retirement future. You do not always need to work forever, but you may need to work longer than you originally planned, and that is not failure. That is strategy. Working a few more years can give you time to pay off debt. It can give you time to build emergency savings. It can help you delay touching whatever savings you do have. It can increase your future income. It can reduce financial pressure. And it can give you time to make a smarter retirement plan. Now, this does not mean you must stay in a stressful job that is damaging your health, but it does mean you should think very carefully before fully leaving the workforce. Maybe you can work part-time. Maybe you can consult. Maybe you can switch to a less stressful job. Maybe you can earn money from a skill you already have. Maybe you can work seasonally. Maybe you can delay full retirement and slowly transition. The key is this: do not make retirement an emotional decision. Make it a mathematical decision. Because the harsh truth is, if you have no savings, every extra working year matters. One extra year of work can mean one less year of depending fully on savings. 2 or 3 extra years can give you breathing room, and 5 extra years can completely change the picture. So before you say, I'm done working, ask yourself these questions. Can I truly afford to stop working? What will my monthly income be? What will my monthly expenses be? Do I still have debt? Do I have emergency savings? What happens if medical costs increase? What happens if I live another 25 or 30 years? Retirement should give you peace, but retiring before you are ready can create stress for the rest of your life. So do not retire just because of your age. Retire when the numbers make sense. If you are 60 with little or no retirement savings, you do not have the luxury of ignoring expensive habits. At this stage, every dollar must have a job. And the fastest way to improve your retirement situation is not always earning more. Sometimes it is stopping the financial bleeding. There are certain expenses that can quietly destroy people after 60. The first dangerous expense is high-interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans, expensive car loans. These are retirement killers. If you are paying high interest every month, your money is working against you. You may think your monthly payment is manageable, but the interest can keep you trapped for years. So if you have high-interest debt, make a plan to attack it. You may need to call the lender. You may need to consolidate. You may need to reduce spending temporarily. You may need to sell something you do not truly need. You may need professional debt advice, but whatever you do, do not ignore it. Debt becomes more dangerous when your income goes down, and for many people, income drops after retirement. So the time to deal with debt is before retirement, not after retirement. The second dangerous expense is helping adult children beyond your capacity. Now, this one is emotional. As a parent, you want to help your children. That is natural. But here's the truth. You cannot destroy your retirement to fund someone else's lifestyle. Helping your children with a true emergency is one thing, but paying their rent, bills, car payments, shopping, or lifestyle expenses while you have no savings can put your own future in danger.
And later, when you become older and financially dependent, those same children may not be able to fully support you. So you must learn to say, "I love you, but I cannot afford this anymore." That sentence may be painful, but it may save your retirement. The third dangerous expense is living in a home you cannot afford. Many people love their house, but sometimes the house is silently draining them. Property taxes, repairs, maintenance, heating, cooling, insurance, mortgage payments, it all adds up. If your home is too expensive for your retirement income, you may need to think about downsizing. And yes, that can be emotional, but sometimes a smaller home gives you a bigger life, lower bills, less stress, more cash flow, less maintenance, more peace. The fourth dangerous expense is buying things to look successful. At 60, you do not need to impress people, you need financial security. A luxury car, expensive clothes, unnecessary upgrades, costly vacations, lifestyle spending, these things can damage your future if you are already behind. This is not about living a boring life, this is about protecting the years when you may not be able to earn like before. So ask yourself this question: which expenses are helping my future, and which expenses are only protecting my ego? That question can save you thousands, because if you are behind on retirement, you do not need to look rich, you need to become financially stable.
When people talk about retirement, they usually focus only on savings. They ask, how much money do I have saved? That is an important question. But if you are already 60 with little savings, there is another question that may be even more important. How much income can I create every month? Because retirement is not only about having a big amount of money sitting somewhere, it is about having enough monthly cash flow to live. So instead of only thinking about savings, start thinking about income. What reliable income can you build? This may include Social Security, a pension, part-time work, rental income, a small business, consulting, freelancing, teaching a skill, bookkeeping, customer service, remote work, selling a service, or using your experience in a practical way. Many people in their 50s and 60s underestimate their experience, but you may know things younger people do not know. You may know skills from your job. You may know how to manage people. You may know how to repair things. You may know sales. You may know accounting. You may know cooking. You may know caregiving. You may know real estate. You may know a trade. You may know how to teach. The goal is not always to build a huge business. The goal may simply be to create an extra $500, $1,000, or $1,500 per month. Because extra income can change everything. An extra $1,000 per month is $12,000 per year. Over 5 years, that's $60,000 before taxes. That money can help you pay debt, it can help you build savings, it can help you delay retirement, it can reduce pressure, and most importantly, it can give you options. But be careful, do not fall for easy money offers. Do not pay thousands of dollars for some fake course promising overnight wealth. Do not invest in something you do not understand. Do not risk your emergency money trying to start a business you have not tested. Start small. Use skills you already have. Keep your costs low. Focus on consistent income. At 60, your goal is not to look rich. Your goal is to become stable. Even a small monthly income can make a big difference when it is consistent. So ask yourself, what can I do for the next 3 to 5 years that creates reliable income without destroying my health? That question is powerful. Because sometimes the solution is not only saving more, sometimes the solution is earning smarter. This final point is extremely important, and it is the mistake that destroys many people who are already behind. When someone reaches 60 and realizes they do not have enough retirement savings, they often become desperate, and desperation is dangerous because desperate people are easy targets. This is when people start thinking, I need to catch up fast. They think, I need a big return. They think,
I need something that can double my money. They think, I cannot afford to be slow anymore. And that mindset can lead to terrible financial decisions. You may see someone promising guaranteed high returns. You may hear about a business opportunity from a friend. You may get a message about crypto, trading, real estate, private lending, gold, or some secret investment. You may meet someone who says, don't worry, your money is safe. They may say, this is guaranteed. They may say, everyone is making money. They may say, you must act now. They may say, this opportunity will not last. Be very careful. At this stage of life, losing money hurts much more than missing an opportunity. When you are 30, you may have decades to recover from a bad financial mistake. But when you are 60, one bad investment can damage your entire retirement. So your rule should be simple. If you do not understand it, do not invest in it. If someone promises guaranteed high returns, be suspicious. If they pressure you to act quickly, step back. If they tell you not to discuss it with your family or advisor, run. If the return sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you are already behind, your job is not to gamble your way into retirement. Your job is to protect what you have. Increase income, reduce expenses, pay down dangerous debt, and make steady progress. Boring may not sound exciting, but boring can protect you. A boring budget can protect you. A boring debt payoff plan can protect you. A boring part-time income can protect you. A boring retirement plan can protect you. These things may not make you rich overnight, but they can keep you from becoming broke. And at this stage of life, that matters a lot. So please remember this. Do not let fear push you into a scam. Do not let regret push you into gambling. Do not let pressure push you into a decision you do not understand. You are not trying to win a financial lottery. You are trying to build a retirement that gives you peace. If you are 60 with little or no retirement savings, you are not finished, but you must act now. Know your numbers, cut dangerous expenses, build reliable income, avoid panic investments. The past is gone, but the next 5 years can still change everything. Subscribe for the next video where I'll show you the biggest retirement mistakes after 60. Thanks for watching.